And breathe, people. The game is over. Made it there. I changed my pants and everything, and on live, ready to go over here. Yeah, that was a lot more stressful than I would like, my doctor would like, the entire medical community would like. But we are back live in the post match. Liverpool take the game 2-0. We can celebrate the clean sheet, the 3 points, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll talk about the game. John and Kazi back after the pre match. I don't think anybody called this result, right? But John, what the heck did you make out of that?
What I made out is if Arsenal can scrape out a win, we can scrape out wins too. We are absolutely in the right to do that. And this was that kind of game where we just needed to get the result. If we ended at 1-0, I feel pretty much the same way. So it was a tough game. A lot of it self-inflicted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a tired performance as well from our attack in particular. But again, title challenges do this. They just find a way to get the 3 points. And this was one of those games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we said that for Arsenal before in the pre-match. I guess we can say that for us. I mean, do we celebrate the clean sheet and the 3 points, Kazi? No easy games. That's why, I hate when people look at the schedule and they're like, oh, that's 3 points, that's 3 points. No easy games in this league, especially away.
Yep.
Do we celebrate the clean sheet and all that kind of stuff and the 3 points, or do we say, man, a lot of stuff to be concerned about?
I think the players will celebrate them. So why can't we? Listen, we didn't play well. For you, average at best at times in possession. I thought we were probably a little bit better without the ball, just a bit, but not much. As John just said, a lot of it was self-inflicted. Misplaced passes, just wasn't really feeling it. But why can't, again, going back to the point, you just got to win your games. It doesn't matter how you win them. Is it going to be memorable? Are we going to watch this one back? No. So, but to be honest, there's a bit of a saying where you don't want to play in too many classics. And sometimes just to stand a little 2-0 can work. And City are involved in a lot of classics lately. A lot. And could be Liverpool just kind of, again, going under the radar, doing a thing. So I'm super pleased, mate. Super pleased. Right, as it stands right now, we're 5 points clear of City. I mean, it could be 4 points, actually, sorry, because they're drawing right now. But who knows, mate? But yeah,
still 0-0 there, still 1-1 at Chelsea United in that battle of the mid-table game. But
results are going our way, mate. I'm super pleased. Again, not a great performance.
John,
one of our worst.
Oh, sorry. Sparky says
it's like our back line today. A lot of miscoms.
Yeah, I know. Like we're not in sync over there. I'll be Van Dijk yelling over, like waving people around, like you. So who's going to be Gomez? That's the problem, right? Okay, so I mean, here's the thing, and we talked about this in the pre-match. Got to give him credit, right? There were a couple of moments where I was like, in the set pieces, but makes a huge save and keeps the clean sheets. Kelleher, I thought that was a huge save that he made. If Ali makes that save, I think we brag about it and we kind of, give him a lot of credit. I think he deserves a lot of credit for making that save, keeping the game 0-0. Because as much trouble as we were having, creating chances, John, that save was huge.
Yeah, and it's the only save he's had to make in the game. Right, if I'm not mistaken, like the only one of note, that's the thing with a top class keeper, and that's why we were talking about him before in the pre-match. Simon Mignolet saved a lot of shots at Sunderland, right? But when you're a Liverpool goalkeeper, you save those you have 1 or 2 saves to make, and those are absolutely critical saves. And that one that Kelleher made was a critical one, because imagine if we weren't leading yet then, right?
It was so tight.
Imagine the arena, the stadium, if we concede that goal, right? Momentum, literally the wind is going to be on their sails, and it's going to be an absolute fight, considering how tired we looked. We certainly wouldn't have made it easier for ourselves. So yeah, it's a big save, improved performance, and hopefully he kicks on from this. Again, Tim, run of games.
Yeah, run of games.
Doing good, yeah.
So flip side of things, Kazi. Are you worried that we really, I mean, if you look at it, we did not create a lot of chances. I mean, the only ones I can think of are mostly in the second half. A couple of shots from far away, because we're on a roll kind of a thing. Cracked a couple of shots in the first half. You have the Nunez one, and Sparky. Look at that. Sparky, our reporter on site, is reporting that Villa is now up over
Now,
60.
listen, Sparky,
So,
if you're lying to me because I'm a bit behind, you're getting blocked.
It's true, cause it's true, cause I got it on Google.
Get in.
I got it on Google. Yeah.
yes, it is. It is 1-0. I can confirm as well, and I'll let you guys know more details in a second over here. But
Bailey.
let me ask you that, Kazi. Is that a concern that we didn't really create a whole lot?
Not really in terms of creating. Because if you actually look, Salah probably should score. He has a really good one, which he volleys over the bar in the first half, which is a great pass. And I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was a good chance. I think Salah has another one off the corner where he hits it straight at the keeper. And everyone said it was an unbelievable save. And I thought, why is he hitting straight at the keeper?
That was an unreal save.
Yes.
That's the beginning of second half, right?
Yeah, correct.
Or
and then the Darwin one. You have the Darwin when he goes 1-on-1, when he might be off, he might not be. We all know about these hairline things, but he should score even if he is off. He should still score anyway, and he hits it straight to the keeper. So when you actually look at it, there's probably 3 chances there, which Liverpool probably think we do better there. It goes back to the thing of take your chances. So not really in terms of the worries, in terms of creating chances. I'm more worried about Joe Gomez doing Cruyff turns when he's the last man, and then losing the ball in the first half. I'm more worried about Ibu Konate putting in one of the worst centre-half performances you could imagine, and still amazed that Liverpool keep a clean sheet because he done everything in his power apart from scoring an own goal. Basically, just volley it in from 30 yards into his own net to let Sheffield United score a goal. Because I thought he was absolutely appalling all game, really. So he didn't get better. I thought he had a little bit of a ropey start, and you think, oh, well, he'll grow into it. He did not grow into it. So that doesn't help the keeper either. So, yeah, that's what I'm slightly more concerned about. But I'm super pleased for the keeper. Super pleased with Virgil van Dijk, because he should score more. I think we probably all agree with that. The size of the man in most boxes. And if you're centre-half today, and maybe not Konate, but Virgil, you go, well, I scored the winner, we got a clean sheet, job done. So his job is done at least. So
that's fair. McTominay just scored. He's like their, I think, only guy who scores for United. So United is up 2-1 on Chelsea now in that mid-table
in the battle for 10th.
So yeah, battle for 10th. I don't know what we're watching there. VAR is watching something. I didn't see anything, but I'm watching with the corner of my eye. So going back, let's stay with you, Kazi, because he's your boy. What did you make of Gakpo today?
Thought he was okay. Didn't think he was fantastic, but I don't think anyone was fantastic in the forward
thing, right? Like I can't think of I don't know, aside from Van Dijk, not only because he scored. I thought he did a lot of dirty work. I can't think of like a lot of.
I thought Endo played well.
Yeah,
I thought Endo played pretty well. To be fair, in the middle of the park. Again, I mentioned this previously on a podcast. He's very good at receiving the ball in the half turn, and he's better than I thought he would be on the half turn. He's got that like Thiago little bit of movement, which beats a man. Because he probably knows himself he hasn't got pace, and he's learned how to do this bit of movements where he just drops his shoulder and then he's away kind of thing a little bit. So I thought Endo done okay. Listen, I know this might be controversial, but I thought Gomez did okay. I didn't think he was excellent by any stretch, but considering the position he's playing in on his weak side, I thought he did okay. I didn't think he was unbelievable. I thought he made mistakes as well. I'm not arguing that.
He definitely seems like you can tell that guy's not a left back, is he?
He's uncomfortable
when you watch the game.
Yeah. He looks uncomfortable. That's what he is. Everything's a bit of a worry. He's always constantly turning because he can't put it on his left foot. So he's constantly have to do like a 360 to get the ball on his right foot. He's just a bit awkward, but I thought he did okay. Nothing special. But as you just said, though, no one really played well. Virgil did, Endo did, and the rest, But I thought Gakpo was okay. He didn't lose the ball very often, which is nice to see. He didn't lose the ball. Kept the ball moving. But yeah, listen, we're not going to remember this next month, are we? Let's get it right.
What did you guys make of? Sorry, Tim.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, again, that shaky backline. That shaky backline. Yeah. Shaky backline. What do you guys make of Szoboszlai? I don't know, 5th, 6th straight meh game from him. Like he scored, right? But he wasn't.
I thought personally, I agree with you. But I thought the last 10 he played better.
Yeah,
I thought the last 10 he got hold of the ball a bit more, and it looked like he was one of the ones who wanted it when it was 1-0. And I thought he'd keeping the foot on the ball. He done one where they were on the counter and he just ran like 60 yards back on the left-hand side to out Gomez, and he kept the ball in place. It looked like it was going to go out for the Sheffield United throw-in. And I was like, at least the last 10 there, you want to get on the ball. But I agree. He was a bit meh, but again, so was 7 or 8 of the players. So
yeah, it seemed very disconnected, didn't it? It felt like a League Cup game where like nobody has played before, like very disconnected. Oh, I thought you were gonna go that way, trying to do a give and go here. Oh, there's nobody on the left. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like it was very disconnected. The thing with Szoboszlai is he does do a lot of like those hustle plays that you're referring to, but that right side definitely does not get the defensive protection that it needs. I know, like, Konate did not have a good game, but part of me feels for the dude because that side, man, he's like Konate against Sheffield United's left-hand side. It feels like sometimes over there. Going back to Endo, see, now we're seeing more of Endo, right?
Yeah.
Does he? I thought I agree that he did do well today. And you were like, he plays like a defensive mid, and he's good at like getting the ball and giving it to somebody who's gonna do something with it. Like reminds me a little bit of like Hendo-ish, where he doesn't try to do something with it. Like if somebody is open, he sees the pass, he makes the pass. But at the same time, does he have that ridiculous rash challenge in him, regardless of the minutes? Like, Milner would come in at 60, 70, and he would get one, but he does not look at what time it is, and he throws it in there, John.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Like he's not the fastest player, he's not the strongest either. So you'll put one or two moments. He'll probably have one or two moments minimum each game where he just hauls a player down, which is, to be fair, what you would kind of need from your defensive midfielder. I think it was Kazi who said it when Endo put in that tackle against Man City. He enjoyed it a lot. And to be fair, we could use a bit of that dark arts. Yeah. Obviously, as with everything, the key is balance. The key is timing it right. And obviously, we're probably going to have one or two games where he'll put in one a bit too early, and it could disrupt the flow of the whole team and everything. So, but right now, obviously, it's a good platform for him to build up on.
More than the timing, though, it was like unnecessary, Kazi. That one, like the one he did. Like sometimes you gotta take one for the team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
but that one was not like take one for the team. That was like, dude, why did you even do that?
Yes, yeah, I think he didn't back himself with his pace, but I also think he managed himself really well after he got booked.
Yeah,
that's true. I'll give him
very mature. That's very mature of a player, isn't it? To go, okay, I'm booked early doors, and I thought he still got his tackles right, and he still got his movement right, still kind of thing. So that's credit to him. Yes, I agree. But he just probably didn't back himself with his pace because he probably knows his pace himself.
That's where the age comes in too, though, right? Like, we don't know him enough. We haven't seen him enough. I actually wanted him taken off because I did not have as much confidence in him, but he did play. That's where the age comes in, I think, right? Like a Milner or somebody like that, you would trust to be able to control themselves, knowing playing with the yellow. But like you're saying, Kazi, he managed it really well.
Managed it really well. I thought, again, it's shown us a bit more today, again, more of him that we haven't seen. Do you know what I mean? With it in certain games. I don't know for what I'm starting against United, but it depends how bad the McAllister thing is. It probably just looks like that cut might be irritable. He might just need a painkiller or a bit of rest. And, that's what that looks like. It didn't look good at first, but, it's shown us a lot more again. There's Palace on the weekend. I think they just lost to Bournemouth at home.
They lost at home to Bournemouth, correct.
Which is, Bournemouth winning away games is never something that you want to be on the receiving end of. So that doesn't look good for them. Hopefully they can keep the Hodge in one for one more week before they sack him, please. Please. It's one of them things, and it's like with Ten Hag, isn't it? I'm kind of hoping United win today because I want us to be in charge for the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
Let's not rock the boat here, guys. He's doing fine,
You might be getting your wish, really. It's still up 2-1. But, I mean, I kind of have that game chalked up as a 2-2 anyway, so we'll see how it goes.
I mean, that's the thing with Endo. I think, you got the Palace, Union game and West Ham, which you feel like he could start all three. And they're good games for him to play in, you would say. The Palace game's tough, but they've been poor again this season. So, yeah, mate, I'm pleased with him. I'm pleased with him.
So let's talk about that midfield. I mean, obviously, we didn't see as much of it as we would like to, but this was like a midfield that's, I don't want to say like a dream midfield, John, but it's like something that everybody was clamoring for, right? It's like Endo behind.
Namely, Anand.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So, except he would have Nunes in front of him and Thiago in somebody's pocket or something. But what do you like? Do we see enough of it, or did you like what you saw of it? What do you make of that midfield trio?
No, we need more reps. I think this is a poor. Yeah, we need more reps with that midfield, man. It's like a gym set. One isn't conclusive with it, and this is a poor game to showcase that midfield and say, oh, this is how good this midfield is. This is a poor game to say that. So I think it's still.
Why do you say that though? Like, why do you?
Sorry?
Is it because like why do you say it's not a good game to gauge it?
Because it's probably the first time they've played together in a long time, right? Like
ever, probably.
Yeah. The last time they played together was probably Newcastle, and then Verge got sent off. So that kind of changed that kind of changed up the dynamic. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3 more games with this midfield starting, and then we could make an assumption, because I feel like the reason why everyone looked like, oh, they weren't really familiar with each other is that, again, these guys didn't really play together much, so they're kind of feeling each other out. And we're lucky this time that we got away with it, I would say.
Kazi, we're gonna find out probably in the next few weeks or so, but does Klopp look at that and say, yeah, this is the way to go? Or he's like, okay, that rotation worked, Mac, back to where you were moving forward?
Probably that, depending on how bad the cut is on his knee, because that also didn't help, by the way, this new midfield thing, because within the first 5 minutes he gets absolutely stamped on.
Yeah,
on his leg.
It just hurts watching it.
At first I thought it was something horrific, the way the players were reacting as well.
Right.
I thought, oh, fucking hell, this is actually really bad. But, so that doesn't help either. But no, I don't. I think in his big games, I think he does a Jones or a Gravenberch in his big games anyway. And I do think Mac will drop back in. He does have a nice excuse now for McAllister, where you can just rest up there now because of your knee and stuff like that. And he can go with Endo again. I'd like to see Jones in there. I'm always going to say that anyway, over McAllister, just for the sheer fact that he keeps the ball better. But I also think, as John said, it's hard to judge this game because they were very defensive. They didn't fancy it at all. The chances that they had that one on the break with Kelleher made a great save. But anytime there's a long throw, it looks dangerous. But then we just headed it away anyway. Yeah. And they go, wow, everyone goes, wow.
Paranoia, I think, more than anything else, right? Ball coming into the box, paranoia.
Exactly, and everyone gets like, but this is a different defense compared to 5 years. That was 5 years ago, Liverpool, when we're like Moreno and Lovren, and I'll be a bit more, oh boy, you know what I mean? But again, it's a bit. I didn't think he did much, so it's hard to judge as well. I thought he just played their men behind the ball. By the way, I think they played the game right because they were in the game with 10 to go. Yeah, which you've kind of got to be. If you open up against Liverpool,
is that why? Maybe Nunez scores that, or anybody scores that. We make it 2-0. Maybe we do force them to come out. It almost looked like, John, that Wilder was like, let's stay close, and then you never know what happens. And probably after last week, he didn't want to start this with a huge embarrassment. So I don't even know, even if they were down 2-0, that they would come out, or they would just do damage control and say, like, Wilder already took this as a 0 point starting points. Anything would be icing on the cake.
Yeah, and he's naturally a very defensive manager anyway. So I know he didn't have much time to kind of sort out his team. But I remember when we played them in their first season in the Premier League, where they were good. It took a spill from Dean Henderson. Remember that from Wijnaldum, his shot? Yeah. And when we faced them at Anfield, it was 2-0, but it was a hard-fought 2-0 where chances were at a premium. So, he really has that identity in terms of shoring up his team. So I think we actually did pretty good for ourselves. And, before we move on in terms of, the players that came in, I think Curtis Jones was really good coming in off the bench in terms of keeping the play ticking and everything. Obviously, he didn't start against Fulham, and I felt like, I always praise Gravenberch whenever I can, but he's that kind of metronome that keeps the balance of that midfield from being too attacking. And I think he did, he gave just what the doctor ordered when he came in, which is still keeping us on the front foot, but also having the attention to track back and help out the defense whenever needed. So
because there's a moment in that second half where it's almost like the game is getting a little too disconnected. And Curtis is the one that pulls almost a handle. I know most people will probably not like that, but he kind of slows it down and says, okay, let's go back to possession. And I think that's the maturity that you did not see from him before, Kazi, in the past. And that's what the maturity sometimes I do not see from Szoboszlai, where he would, if that's Szoboszlai, he's trying to attack, and maybe if he loses the ball, now we're getting countered on. That's one thing I would probably like to see more from him. I know we want balance, but you want to kind of manage the big picture as well.
Correct me, yeah, I think you're completely correct. I agree with John as well. The manager, I think the subs again did well. I thought Darwin actually played okay when he came on. He was still a bit, lackadaisical. I thought his challenge for the second goal, by the way, is not a great challenge.
That could go either way, right?
When
you
you're
get the ball or you get the red.
And he's booked.
Yeah,
he's already booked, and he's done that. Like, gee, right, relax. But I think there's that thing as well, which football fans don't like to hear. You can win a football match 1-0, And I think Jones thought that as well. Hey, we can just win this 1-0. If they don't want to attack, all we have to do is keep hold the ball and just move the ball around in nice, easy little passes and win the game 1-0. I know it's not good for our hearts and it's not good for our pants, but you can still win a game 1-0. So I also remember, by the way, that when City went there this year, and I think City needed a last-minute winner to win there. Because I think Sheffield scored like the 90th, and then Roger went up the other end and scored straight away, and he won 2-1. And I think it was a close, tough little game for them. So, yeah, I mean, again, no one performed brilliantly. The lads were not great at all. But the subs, again, came on. I thought Elliot did okay as well when he came on.
Yeah.
I thought Elliot did well. So, I'm super pleased, mate.
I have to say, if Nunez got a red card over that assist, let's get Kazi on the Friday show with Anan again.
When he made it, I thought he'd been sent. When he made it, I seen him jump, and I was like, "Oh no!" I think I closed my eye just to say, one of them, because I was like, "You're being booked. What are you doing?"
And the booking, I mean, those are the little things that maybe it is a little thing, but that's the stuff that gets to me, because that's a very unnecessary yellow. And the way he plays, he does do those challenges, so you can get a legit yellow. You don't want to lose a guy in an important game down the road because he picked up his fifth and stuff. That is, and not to mention, if you're gonna this is my thing. If you're gonna take one for the team and get a yellow for time wasting, get your freaking money's worth at least.
Yeah.
And make it a goal kick that you're taking 30 seconds on or something. Not like just you kick the ball away that came back in like 3 seconds. It was just like odd. Going back to the subs, John. It felt like it brought the energy, because I do agree, like you were saying it earlier, it did look like a tired performance.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that energy with, Elliott and like Jones and stuff like that. The people we were able to bring and Nunez are all like really energy players.
Yeah. And I was actually there in the Discord saying like, oh, why did he take off Salah? But then Salah, it's a crap game from him again. Like, he looked tired, so I think he's saving him for the next game against Palace, which makes sense. So yeah. I questioned it at first, but as the game wore on and we started actually keeping the ball more, started kicking it around and keeping the flow of the game going, it made more sense. So yeah, another spot on substitution from Jurgen, I would say, and again, 3 points, it showed. So.
Yeah, do you like the timing of the subs, Kazi? I felt like you should have come in earlier. I actually thought McAllister would be off at halftime.
Same.
And I thought we should have taken him out earlier, really, before we really had him struggle and make something worse than it maybe is. But what did you think of the timing of the subs?
Yeah, I didn't mind him. The McAllister one's interesting because McAllister's definitely told him a hard time he can play on.
Yeah, that's
fair. You ask a player, don't you, how you feel? Feel great. I'm fine, don't worry about it. Then 10 minutes later, then no matter.
But do you put that on the player, though? Like playing the devil's advocate?
Nah, I don't know.
Which player is really going to be like, nah, man, it hurts?
I mean, a lot of players.
Daniel Sturridge, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of players these days, though, in fairness, are open like that with the manager, aren't they? To go, you know what, don't fancy this, you know what I mean? I think Darwin done it against Spurs or whatever.
Oh, there we go, Darwin. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, where they just go, don't they, and go, I'm not really 100% here. But you feel clearly he's trust McAllister, don't he, to actually, this and that for me. So, yeah, again, the subs are just changing everything for us, man. We're just a different breed with the subs on the pitch. Yeah, I say it all the time, Liverpool did not win that game today. We just don't last year. Based on last year, we will not win that game. They would have just ran us over the bar.
Down at the end, right? Like we're giving him. But is that kind of on Sheffield? It felt like they never said, when a team is down 1-0 at home,
they didn't throw caution at all.
Close. Yeah. And then 70th, 75th, they make those subs, right? They're like, they put the 3 guys in, and they're like, it's go time, now or never. It just felt like they never did that, John. They were like, maybe you never know, it might happen, and they just kept going. I know they made the subs, but you never. Is that on us or is that on them that they never were able to put that pressure on?
You mean Sheffield, right?
Sheffield. Like, you never.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be even, dirtier pants at the end of the game as they kept loading into the box or something like that. It just like really never happened. Is that more on us for controlling the game, or is that more on Sheffield for not being able to do anything?
Our subs certainly helped. Elliott and Jones keeping the play ticking. They had some chances here and there. Not really chances, but they had some instances where they had possession. But I thought, as shaky as our defense was, I think it pretty much stood the test. Well, with a better team, probably they'd be asking more questions. And sorry, I had to verify that with you, Tim, because I got distracted here on Twitter. So Klopp confirmed Matip ruptured his ACL. So that's
might be the end of his Liverpool career.
Yeah, probably the end of his Liverpool career. Kind of got me thrown off because I love
end of his career altogether. Really, I mean,
yeah,
at least a year, right?
Yeah,
by the time you get back and stuff like that.
Depends if he's operation or not.
Yeah, that's a shame, man. Because really was having a good season already. I thought, and
I was missing him. I was missing him today, mate. On the back of fucking Jesus Christ,
we were, man. We were.
Hey, you ruptured your ACL. Get on the field.
Get on. When moves up with the ball, you just don't get the same. What is he going to do? What's going to happen? Something's going to come out of this attacking wise. Yeah. I'm more worried that we're going to lose the ball over there and we're going to get a counter. Maybe that's more on me.
Yeah, he hasn't got the composure like Matip. Matip said, what I like about Matip, when he knows he's going to overrun the ball, he likes kind of kicks it out to the wing for like a Salah, or just, I'll sacrifice a throw here.
Yeah.
And like get back in position where Konate hasn't really got that nous about him. When he's overstepped it, he'll just go in and try and challenge a player, where Matip will just get a toe on and knock it out for a throw and run back, or try and knock out to Salah, and Salah will just do something magical. Because if you actually look at some of Matip's like that, so we do miss composure going into the midfield, but we also missed him today defensively massively compared to what Konate put in today. So it's going to be a big loss. It's massive. But again, the pressure's on Kwanzaa now, so the manager has a big decision to make.
So, yeah, do you put that on Konate, by the way, John, or do you put that on the fact that that side, whoever we put, is going to struggle? It's a lot for that center back playing on the right-hand side.
I think it's Konate, but it's not 100% his fault because this is his first start in forever. So he is kind of cold. And I did mention that in the pre-match that I was worried about how quickly he's going to, get up to speed.
The run of games.
Yeah, the run of games. So, again, this is one game, so... It's kind of like with Keller, we could maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, and we got away with it anyway. Like more questions would be asked, certainly if we lost. But I think the same stance would be appropriate, even if we lost. Like it's his first game back in a long time, so he's probably first choice alongside Verge right now. So let's give him a chance. And last year, playing in that role, it was him, right? When we switched over to this formation towards the end of the season last year, and he was pretty good. So I back him to make up for today, the next few games and everything. It's just a bad performance.
Because I think it does suit him more. Because when people were like, "Okay, I guess we're gonna have to defend Trent over here in the middle," that gave the ball and a lot of time to Matip, and then people were like, "Wait, we can't afford that shit with Matip." When it was Konate there, it felt like people backed up and say, "Well, do what you got," because we'd rather take our chances with you than you getting the ball to Mo or Trent or somebody and have them create. I don't think people could do that as much with Matip because you can go in between the lines. He could do those passes in between the lines and find people and stuff like that. We'll miss that. I loved him as a player, his attitude, his demeanor. I think he kind of brought a little bit of that, playing loose kind of a thing and like the locker room and stuff like that. And you can tell he was kind of like a good part of that squad. And that's why I thought, really, despite his age, he would get the year contract. But I think this kind of changes that. But I'm sure we'll talk about that more.
Hottest take from me is our second best defender in the Premier League era. I know him.
Premier League era?
Yeah, I know Hipia. I know Carragher. All those guys. But for me, I'm young, so you guys can get on my ass. I am young. So
you are young, man.
Yeah. Premier League era, though.
Hold on, Kazi. You're not young. What
No, it's not.
Definitely not second. I have to really think, but definitely not second.
Top five.
Top five?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Top five. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But,
there we go. Healthy compromise, guys.
Yeah. You're probably looking at Carragher, Hippier, Virgil, Matip. Then you're probably maybe even Daniel Agger was unbelievable.
Yeah.
At times before his injury as well. He had a couple of bad ones. People forget that as well. So, but yeah, he's probably up there, mate. Honestly, like I put it alongside me. There was a stage for 6 months. in probably 1819 and 1920, where he was on the level of Virgil. Like, I thought he was as important as Virgil. I genuinely thought that. Maybe not
and
on
it was
the level.
always Virgil getting the credit for it, right? Like Virgil makes him better and stuff. And then we saw that, no, he's just freaking good.
Yeah, he's just a very, and listen, one of the best free transfers again. Bit of business that Liverpool have done. What a wonderful, wonderful bit of business by the club to bring him in.
But yeah, that's kind of like a way to bring us down over there.
Oh, let's get us back up.
Yeah.
What happened to Villa Park, Timuchin?
Yes. Villa wins. So City, Pep will be fired tomorrow. Maybe they'll say, hey, can we rush this case and get the point deduction this year? Because that does put them behind the able. I mean, you just look at the recent form, and you never want to count them out, Kazi, but that recent form definitely does not look good.
No, they haven't won in 4.
I can't remember the last time that freaking happened. Really, in the last.
It hasn't happened in 5 years under Pep. But maybe Pep's first season when he struggled, but he still finished 4th. Maybe that is insane. I can't really put that into words how big that is.
I don't know if that's more insane or the fact that look at Villa. They are 3rd right now.
The home form's been excellent, hasn't it? Like don't forget, I always think about this with the away form. I know it's a bit different. They went to Newcastle, got battered. They went to Liverpool, got battered.
Yeah.
And I always think when they go to the top 6 clubs, they have to get something, don't they? And I don't feel like they've got that in them. But Villa performing admirably. I don't think they're in the title race because I also think
I think as they keep going further and further. Tune in by the way tonight because we'll ask Shay, who
I was going to ask
Villa in our panel show. His main concern always has been that. Like Emery does not do a lot of rotation, and they really don't have the depth to do that rotation in the first place. And I think that's his concern with Europa.
They've been lucky with the Conference League that they've been able to do their little bit of rotation and still batter everyone because they probably are the best team in the Conference League. So if I was a Villa fan, I'd want us to win the Conference League. I know, unless finish 4th, that's a complete argument. But if it offered them finish 6th, they'll win the Conference League. I'd take winning the Conference League every single time. Villa could do with a trophy. Villa are a big football club, big footy club, won the European Cup. They could really do with a trophy. It's like the West Ham thing, isn't it? You can pop your cherry in it. And,
That'll be an interesting one to ask Shay tonight to see, if that tone has changed as, initially they were like, oh, we're doing good, top 4 and stuff. And now, I don't know, you get a score result like this, and then they play Arsenal this weekend. Yeah. So if they get another win over there, how they look at things change on their end?
That's my only fear, actually. I just hope that they didn't blow their load against City because we need them to get a result against Arsenal.
Yeah, no shit. United's game ends with United winning 2-1. So Chelsea goes down even further. United is celebrating their 6th spot or whatever it is they're at right now.
6 now, mate, yeah.
Happy about that. And I'm sure Ten Hag is happy. I'm happy. McTominay scored 2, so he'll be in the lineup for weeks to come.
We all took at the start of the day with City to lose the game. By the way, I think we all felt down the weekend when Rodri got suspended. I think we were all like, I don't want to get him suspended for Villa. That's not one you want to get suspended for.
Yep.
So, of course, it looks like it's been a massive loss. I think Villa's had fucking 16, 17 attempts today, which is also unheard of against City. When teams have been beating City, you've been getting 3 or 4 chances, taking one and winning that way. No, it sounds like Villa went out and just dominated them today, which is very, very rare in a game of football. So
possession stats. City's at 54, Villa's 46. When have you heard a team that
honestly, you got to give a lot of credit to Unai because he can really set up his team to play against the big boys. He knows how to battle against the big boys with above average talents, kind of a thing. I think he's a perfect fit for that club. But so before we wrap it up over here, some final words. Like you said, Kazi, we're not going to rewatch this one. I can barely probably stand to watch the highlights over again. But what do you take from today's game?
3 points. 3 points, and that's all that matters. And, if Liverpool are holding a big trophy in May, we'll look back at this week and go, that was the key week. Where you beat Fulham 4-3 and you go to Sheffield, play garbage and win 2-0. And I think, if Liverpool do lift the trophy when City have picked up 1 point in 6 out this week, this is the week that we probably look at and go, that's when it changed. The Villa one feels big. The result feels bigger now because Villa have won. So it feels bigger to me.
True.
So no one played well. Endo, Virgil played okay. Endo played well. Let's just say then the rest were all average at best. But Liverpool won. And last year we won the one. and Liverpool are in a title race, whether we like it or not, and whether we want to admit it to ourselves, whether you want to keep playing this team down, that's fine. And I'll keep saying it every single podcast. Liverpool now only lost 2 in 31, and I'm just going to keep adding that number up.
Keep
That's
adding.
what happens. So
At least he's pretty decent in math, John. We can definitely tell that about Kazi.
Yeah, I'm not.
Young, that's why. Yep. Well, how about you, John? Parting thoughts.
At the risk, I don't want to risk jinxing anything. So I'm just happy with the 3 points. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's not do that, John.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with Kazi. It's 3 points you take away. No starting left back, no goalie, rotation away. I don't care who you're playing. It's ugly, but you got to win ugly ones.
Yep.
Arsenal won an ugly one yesterday, and we kind of said, hey, you got to win those to win a title. So what goes around comes around. You got to win those to win the title. So take the 3 points, run with it. Now let's get the same again from 3 from Crystal Palace. I don't care how ugly. I would rather just sit back and watch instead of crapping my pants, but hey, it is what it is. Tune in tonight. By the way, we'll be live. A lot to talk about now. 2 days worth of 2 match days to talk about basically with the gang. And I know we have a pretty full panel today. These 4 or 5 of the panel members are going to be there. So tune in tonight, 8 o'clock Central. Join the conversation for the Premier League. A lot to talk about, that's for sure. And then obviously the boys will be back, I'm sure, to talk more about this game tomorrow as well. Have an awesome Wednesday evening, everybody. Take care.
Take care, guys.